our personnel as far as the offensive personnel when they come in. So, for example, if somebody's going to get in 22 personnel or 13 personnel, 1 back and 3 tight ends, what we'll go ahead and do now is we'll take a corner out and we will bring in an extra strong safety, which we call the S2. And most of the time when we play this, we're going to play Indian so we can get our backside linebacker over the top of everything. And that's the look that we'll have versus a 22 personnel if they're in I-backs with it. Again, it's really going to allow us to play these guys down here at about 6 yards with everything, and now we've got 10 guys within about 5 or 6 yards of the line of scrimmage with everything. Again, trying to create a numbers game with it. Same concept is going to happen for us if they start creating an overshifted tight end set with it. We can still go ahead and scoot that now. Okay, and if that happened, we'd probably get out of an Indian front. But now we'd slide our linebackers to a 70, a 10. This guy come back here where he can play that B gap, and the free safety is going to cheat over. And again, now it's going to become a banjo between the free safety and the weak safety. So if we got 2 verticals here, he'd handle it. And now it's going to allow that S2 to stay in the flat and really be a hard force leverage player with it and be a guy that can play the back out in the flat with everything. That's one way we'll get bigger. Another way for us, if people are giving us a lot of 10 personnel, is to go to a nickel front. If we went to nickel, what would happen is this. We would still stay with 4 down linemen. We'd have 1 linebacker in the game. We'd bring in an extra strong safety, again, the S2 position. And what it allows us to do in the passing game-wise now, we've got 2 read sides with all of it because we've got an extra strong safety in here with it. Okay? We don't do as much of that. If we're going to get into a substitution deal versus 10 personnel, most of the time we'll play what we call dime and take out our worst pass rusher out of the defensive tackle position. Most of the time that's the nose guard. We'll take him out, and now we'll leave both linebackers in and still bring in our extra strong safety, the S2 with it. Again, it's going to allow us to play double read sides to either side with it. I think the biggest thing you've got to talk about whenever you're playing dime is how do you want to handle trips. 2 different ways we will handle trips is this. If we want to leave this S2 on the back side where we can play some sort of a inverted half or a sky concept here, we'll play it with a stay call and can't even slip the linebackers, where now we'll walk him in and we'll almost look like a 3-3. Run shows he's still going to be the force and pitch player here. When we do that, it's going to allow us to cheat the weak safety now to the center, and he becomes an extra guy versus the run, and we play the same concept as a solo call where he'd come over in vertical number 3 with it. Nothing's going to change for us out here. Still playing 3-on-2 and whatever the read side coverages we wanted to play at that point. Our next way of playing it then is to bring the S2 over and let him be our adjust guy, and now leave the linebackers where we're playing it and the weak safety back here, where again we could roll up to a half with it, again start here, go to a sky call or anything like that with it. So those are really the couple of different ways and how you want to handle trips out of any of the dime stuff. One thing that's been really good to us front-wise, especially if it is an even down in distance, is playing our defensive ends in head-up 4s. They're playing it just like a 6 technique, and saying that they're going to read the guards down here with everything now. Okay, so if that guard's blocking down, he's going to end up being a B-gap player with all of it. Again, what it's going to allow us to do is really clog up things inside and force that football to bounce with all of it. And that's been a good deal for us if we're still wanting to be able to play the run and everything with it. But those are kind of how we get into different personnel stuff and packages that go along with it. A couple more things that we're going to do throughout the course of a week that I think are pretty good. On Friday nights, we do what we call as a video test. And as a defensive room, we start out with special teams, and every special team's got about 5 minutes where we're going to go over clips of everything that are going to be important for us, maybe anything that's different, change-wise. Maybe they're getting in different punt formations or whatever with it. And then we're going to break into offense and defense. Defensively, we're going to put a play up on the screen, and we're going to make a call. And then our communication is going to start with the free safety. He is going to start, and he is going to go right down the line with my alignment, stance, key, and assignment versus that. Immediately, then we're going to shine a light on the strong safety. He's going to say exactly what his alignment, stance, key, and assignment is. We're going to go through that with every position. What that does is it really builds confidence within your guys that okay, I know the guy sitting next to me knows exactly what's going on because he can go and talk about it in really quick bursts with things. Okay? We'll do that for 4 or 5 plays with both groups, and then we'll watch, probably 50 to 60 more plays on video of just different things that we want to cover again and really try to hammer into those guys. We're not a team that, when we go on a trip, we try treating it as much like a business trip as we can. Even when we play at home, we go out to a hotel where everything becomes consistent with it. On Friday afternoons, we do a substitution script, which is really not much, but we're going to go through everything that can happen throughout the course of a football game with the ones, and then, okay, now the twos that are in, and that's where we really stress we're going to kickoff coverage, and now we're going defense, now we're going to dime, now we're going to bulldog, now we're going to our heavy group with all of it. Just where we're getting good at people, bringing people in and out of those things. One thing that we do defensively, and really as a whole football team, on Thursdays, 2 days before the game, we don't practice in pads. We've got helmets and we've got our shorts and everything on. Now, we do that for a couple of reasons. That's going to be a very big mental practice for us. We start with a special team script, which lasts about 22, 23 minutes. And then we're going to break into, we've got 5 minutes of individual, and then we've got a 5-minute pass scaling, we've got a 5-minute middle drill. Again, all of that stuff is in shorts. And then we're going to have somewhere around 30 minutes of team versus the offense that we're playing. Now, the GA scripts that. All we know is the personnel and down and distance with everything. What that gives us a chance to do is it gives us a chance to maybe work on some calls that have not happened to us throughout the course of a week, where we're getting good at calling it just like a game with everything. Sometimes something shows up in there of, okay, we need to look at that deal again or something with it. The other deal we're going to do once we finish that team part of the script, we're going to go down to the red zone for 5 minutes. Okay, and we're going to get their best 9 or 10 plays that they run down in the red zone. And then we're going to have 5 minutes on the goal line with it. Again, what kind of mentality are you trying to create as you go and you set out going through practice? One drill we do against our offense is rapid fire. What rapid fire is we are going to get 18 reps in somewhere around 7 to 7.5 minutes. How we do that is like this. Here's an offensive huddle, here's an offensive huddle. The defense is going to come in, they're going to get one play on the defensive right hash, they're going to get one play in the middle of the field, and one play on the defensive left hash. If this is the number one offense, they're coming up and they're running that first play. As soon as they finish that play, as fast as that second group can get up there, they're going to go and snap the football. At that time, the one offense goes back and they're huddling up and they're going to come and run the 3 play. Okay, so what happens for us now, our one defense is going to get 3 plays. 2 of them are versus our one offense, and 1 of them is versus the 2 offense. And that's going to happen as fast and as hard as they can. Again, that's going to force us to think, that's going to force us to talk, and that's going to force us to make decisions under duress with it. As soon as they finish, the 2s come in, and at that point, the 2s are back up. So the 2 offense will get the first play, and then the 1 offense will get the second play, and then the 2 offense is here. And again, we will get 3 sets. We'll get 18 total plays. Okay, so each group will get 9 plays. And we like doing it where now our 2 offense, they get to go against the 1s for a snap with everything too. And again, that is a mentality. That is more of a conditioning deal. We do not condition our guys during the season because of how many reps we get throughout practice. For example, in our team period, which team and middle drill, we'll have somewhere between 50 minutes and an hour every day. We're going to have somewhere around 125 to 133 snaps is what we're going to get throughout a practice with it. How we set up our practice scripts and why we do it that way are going to be like this. We got a sheet of paper that's here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? And this may be 10 personnel. And 10 personnel is going to be 2 periods, a 10-minute period for us. The 1s are going to come in, and they're going to get play 1 through 4. Okay, and on this script, we're also going to draw up what the play is, okay, and it's got the call, the defense that we're going to be in here. One thing that really helped our teaching this year is in our meetings, we started going over those scripts and giving the kids handouts of exactly what they were going to see during practice. Okay, and then during practice, we got a GA that's going to stand on the sideline over here, And he's got a script, because this is going to be the ones, this is going to be the twos, and then we're going to go 8 through 5 with the ones, and then the twos are going to get 4 through 1. Okay? So, he's standing over here with whatever group's not in there. They're looking. They can see, okay, here's the exact call. Here's what play is coming. And now let's watch and see what's happening out there on the field with it. Okay? Once we start going here, there should never be a reason that anybody screws anything up when they're going back up the script with all of it. Because they've seen it in a meeting. We've walked through it the majority of the time. They saw it on paper and then saw it happen before they ever went back on any of the repeat stuff. For us, like I said, this becomes a 10-minute period. And there were a lot of times this year and in the past with it, we'll get finished with that somewhere between 7 and 7.5 minutes, those 16 plays with all of it. And again, for us, we do a lot of stuff versus cans. And our worst scout team players are scout offensive linemen. Okay? And when we're going to try to get all the downhill running play stuff, we're going to do that during our middle stuff. We'll do some of it in a team situation, but most of what we're going to work in team situations are going to be outside leverage plays and the pass with all of it. And we're going to do that. We've got a deal set up where we've got 4 trash cans that have a string in between them where we can pull them. We don't have a center in there. We're going to have a center in there that snaps a Nerf football. Okay? So now we've got 2 trash cans that are the guard and the tackles, and we've got a center there. We can still work all of our mentality stuff with the defensive line. Are you mentally, okay, where am I going with my slant? How am I twisting? How am I doing those things? We like that for 2 different reasons. First of all, I think it's really kept us healthy throughout the season because you're not going and you're not banging constantly 130 snaps. And the other thing it's going to allow us to do is get more reps as far as everything that happens. Now, sometimes we'll have a full offensive line in there, and as the kids get smarter, they understand, okay, there's a full offensive line in here. There's probably a pretty good chance that it's going to be a run and play with it. And as they go through those things. But those are some things that we do practice-wise. I think the Thursday script deal is a huge deal for us. And again, going versus cans is different than a lot of people do, but I think it's really helped us. We're going to go in and we're going to watch a little bit of film here now. The first thing I've got is going to be some 10 personnel pass stuff. And we'll start. First thing we're going to have on here is trips with it now. And what you can see is we've got blue solo as our call. So again, where is the read side for us? The read's going to be the passing strength side. They know it's trips, so again, we're going to play a man concept back here. We're playing quarters up here. Again, you can see how far our linebacker walks out of the box. He's not going to walk far out of here with everything. And again, you can see him showing around with everything. Again, you can see where our weak safety is at. He knows he's the force player versus run over here, and if pass shows, that's going to be his vertical with all of it. Again, the strong safety technique, he is going to be a hang technique with it now. Again, the free safety is going to be vertical in number 2. Weak safety now, there is no play action to this deal. He sees it's pass right now. Immediately, he's going to snap his eyes, and he knows that number 3 is his vertical. The thing I would really like for him to do better here now, if he would keep his shoulders square as I'm getting myself out to go play a solo, snap my eyes here, but if I keep my shoulders square, then the quarterback doesn't know which direction I'm going with it. I could still come back either way. As soon as I turn my shoulders, quarterback sees the one-on-one back there with it. But again, what's happening now, linebacker knows he's a short wall as the read side linebacker. Wayside linebacker, he knows he's man on the back. We're playing man coverage down here. We're playing it from a press this time. Okay, again, it's going to be the same thing for us now. We've got blue solo. Again, you can see how slow the strong safety is going to play with it. Again, watch our 2 deep safeties here with it. We talk about don't go until you know. There's play action here. Nobody's going. He's taking 2 steps, which should get him in trouble with all of it now. But again, where does he go? He's now going to get his eyes back to number 3, and he's going to come over and play it. Again, how do you want to play it on the backside? Jason Teague for us was a bigger corner. Again, the better we can play, and what that boundary corner has got to be able to do is he's got to do this. We had a kid that was a 4'7" kid back in 2001 or 2002. He had 9 interceptions, okay? He was 4'7", but he was a great baseball player and he was a really good basketball player. He had good ball skills and he understood leverage. Okay, for us now, we've come down and we've played zero coverage with it this time. Again, for us, we wanted to go down and press because we thought we could be more physical with the wide receivers here. Again, what does man coverage allow you to do? Keep more guys in the box to play the run with everything. Not a very good job by the free safety now with his eyes. Again, it's hard focus and it's patience. We've got different ways of how we want to be able to play screens and everything else from the back with it. If it's something where they're a big screen team, we've got different words where we can tag. A scratch call for us is this. It's going to put the 3 technique on playing the back. There's ways that we can play it now with the defensive end doing it too. All right, here is a zone blitz for us. What we've got now, we've got a Field G Army with a box back, wide stinger, 5-jam lock. Okay, I talked about that watch and everything that was on there and how it said different words to us. Field G Army tells us what? We're going to set our 3 technique to the field. We're playing a G away from it. What's an Army call tell us? We're going to 4-man slant away from the call. Box back tells us this. This boundary end, he's stepping here. If run shows, he's going to stay there and play it. But if pass shows now, he's going to come around and he's going to play the back, man-to-man with it. What that's going to allow us to do now, 5-jam lock tells us this. We've got a wide stinger going, so the strong safety's going from the wide side of the field. We're playing halves with it. And now these linebackers are going to do what we call sling. He's going to work to number 2. The backside linebacker is going to work to number 3. And we're handling the back with the defensive end with the box back with all of it now. Becomes important for our linebackers now whenever we are playing 5-jam. I can't let anything inside of me. I'm vertical of my number 2. I'm vertical of my number 3, but I can't let anything cross the field. If it's a first down situation here, it's where a lock call is going to talk to us. Lock call is going to put this safety in a position where I'm playing the run first, and then if pass shows, I'm basically going to play it like man under, helping on top of 1 and number 3 with it. Lock call is going to put the corner in man coverage. But he knows if pass shows, he's going to have help over the top of all of it. Again, you can see the linebacker come out and wall with all of it. You can see what happens now with the defensive end. He's coming to play the back, but what's the back do? The back blocks, so now the defensive end is going to go at himself to all of it. And again, if our linebackers would have done a little bit better job of staying in here, that's going to look exactly the same as blue solo to that quarterback. One thing we talk to our kids about all the time is being able to make that quarterback, make his butt have to make some decision with things. Don't stand and let that coach over there on the sideline just determine what's happening, because this is what we line up in and this is how we look with all of it. All right, now, trips adjustment-wise, we're playing special coverage up here. Again, what is special for us? Corner's got number 1. We're playing quarters with the strong safety and free safety off of 2 and 3. Solid now becomes a man concept for us back here. Same thing as almost a lock call. Okay, but now he doesn't have to go over and play number 3 vertical, because how are we doing it? The free safety is responsible for 3 vertical. It's allowed that weak safety now to really play the run, and then if pass shows, okay, let's turn it into man under where I can help wherever the quarterback's looking with all of it. Now, for us, whenever we're playing special coverage here, this linebacker is a wall player. A wall player tells him that we're playing zone coverage on the away side of it. Okay, what we've done now, we've changed it up. Instead of playing zone coverage on this side, now we're playing solid, a man concept, the same thing as a solo call for us, and he would go back to being a short wall guy and shouldn't let anything cross his face here with all of it. It's a set G tag call for us, so the 3 techniques set to the offset back, and he's going to slant underneath to the A-gap with it now. Again, he's cheated his alignment with it. Same thing for us now. We've got special, we've got solid. Again, corners pressed, one-on-one. He's got it. Strong safety's vertical at 2, free safety's vertical at number 3. Again, you can see how slow we are and how we're going to sit things down here. Strong safety's got to keep leverage on any outside route by 2 or 3 because the corner's in man coverage and he's not here. One big thing we talk about all the time, and as you go through this, you will see us tackling legs. Okay, we started doing that when we went to OU and played Adrian Peterson down there in 2005, and he rushed for 57 yards, I think. And to be honest with you, he was a heck of a lot better than we were. But no running back, no skill guy out there likes to be tackled at the legs and especially the ankles with all of it. And I'll talk you through some of that stuff as we go through all of it. But again, what's happening back here? Weak safety, he's in a solid call now, playing run pass, pass shows, quarterback's looking over here, so now I can go cheat. Backside linebacker, he's got the running back man, he's going to block, so if we want to, we can add him and start creating different things with it. Same thing for us now. We've got special. Again, the linebacker becomes a wall player. Does not have to be in such a big hurry unless this guy pushes back inside with all of it. We've got a solid call on the backside. Again, the back's blocking. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and add the linebacker. Weak safety's playing run first, pass shows, then he's going to turn it into man under. Quarterback looks here. Here we go. Again, we've got a scratch call on where the 3 technique is going to end up spying and playing the screen out of the back with all of it. Okay, now on the back side of it, instead of playing a solid call now we're going to play squats and halves with it. Up front, we've got a set G and we've got double text. Double text is going to be a twist between where the 3 techniques first and then the end's coming around with everything. But again, same deal for us now. Strong safety is going to keep leverage on any outside route. And we're playing halves back here where we're going to create a double on the single receiver with it. But again, those concepts are going to stay the same with it. All right, here's one for us now. We're in our 3-man front. We're in dime. And what we've got is we've got boundary, peak, nose. Okay, again, we're setting it into the boundary. We're peaking, taking our 5 technique to the A-gap. We're nose, we're taking our nose to it. Okay, and we're running a double speak. We've got 2 safeties coming off of the edge. Again, we're playing that 5 jam deal we talked about with our linebackers earlier. Defensive end's got the back. Again, what's happening? Now the back blocks. Defensive end's going to end up adding. You can see how it looks here with everything. This was a 3rd down and 8 situation, so we didn't want to play the weak safety as a lock. We wanted to stay in a squat and half back here with it, to really allow our corner to be physical with it, and he knows we're playing halves on top of all of it now. Linebacker shouldn't let the guy back inside of it. He needs to stay there and force the wall outside. This S2 should come underneath everything. He's not the contained guy. One big deal that we really talk about to our guys is anytime we get any kind of a slide protection look at us, let's go ahead and continue to come inside and let's find a hole with all of it. Same thing if I'm a linebacker running a dog. It doesn't do me any good to run into that wall right there. Let's continue to run down until I find that door and run through that door with all of it. Okay, again, we're going to come down and we're going to play man free against it. It's really a pretty good job by us showing out here. Again, you don't know if it's blue solo. You don't know if we're zone blitzing and playing everything here. What a gate call does for us is this. The 2 tackles are going to read that center. And whatever side that center steps to, he becomes the wrap guy and this other one becomes the penetrator. All right, we've got a 3-by-1 again. We're going back and now we're playing quarters and we're playing a solo call up top. Again, wayside linebacker's got the back. BYU has been really, really good for years, and Harvey Unga was the guy that they started doing it with 5 or 6 years ago with everything, of coming out here and trying to read the leverage of that linebacker. If the linebacker was outside, he was going to push inside. If he was inside, he was going to push outside and just run away from him. And we had to work a ton on, okay, let's come up here, let's stay square now, but again, let's take as much air out of this deal as we can and play the one-on-one with all of it now. But again, because we made a solo call now, the free safety is not concerned with 3 vertical at all. Pass showed right now, you can see the linebacker opened himself up and he's ready to go be a short wall player off of number 3. Weak safety now, pass shows he's here. What I want you to see now is the free safety. As soon as pass shows, what did he do? He's going to go ahead and get his hips open with it. Okay, he's open here. So what we've done, we've taken away the inside by how we're playing leverage, all right? And now we're taking transition out of it because I've got my hips open. Number 2 ran an outside route, so what's he doing? He's making a wheel call, and he's coming to rob the curl. The corner got a wheel call. He's got to take a peek because if this number 2 should happen to turn up the field, he's got to come off and play the wheel route with it. What snake is for us, it's a pretty tricky deal up front where, okay, the end's going to end up being the penetrator with it, and now the nose guard or the 3 technique is going to loop around, but what he wants to do, he wants to sell an inside move and then come back around as the contained blitzer with all of it. Okay, again, it becomes a blue solo call for us, but we got the weak safety walk down in the box initially with it right now. Okay, now I'm going to get myself out. Corner rolls up. Again, it became a wheel call right now. I'm going to rob curl to post of 1 with it. Corner knows he got a wheel call. I've got inside help on 1. I got an outside route by number 2. This is some of our young guys here at linebacker now, and he wasn't as patient as the other group was. It's really a pretty good job by our read side linebacker of coming out and walling number 3. All right, for us now, what we've got is we've got frog dogs with a switchback. And we said dogs was what? Dogs becomes a linebacker and a safety to the same side. Frog dogs is going to be based off of a formation with it. Here it's going to be against the wherever the offset back is. But because we did it with a switchback, if they came out in a 10 personnel look, and where this call originated was versus OU when they had Grisham and everything, because sometimes they would line him up as a tight end and sometimes they'd go and line up in a 10 personnel look. If they lined that guy up as a tight end, we wanted to run true dogs where it was going to be the linebacker and safety. But whenever they lined up in a 10 personnel look, we wanted to end up running the blitz with both linebackers running it and allowed us to keep a free player with it now. And the defensive end was going to be a box guy away from the blitz. So again, defensive end's got the back. He blocks. He's going to add himself back with all of it. 2 things we talk about though. Hard focus and patience. Free safety's way too fast here. First thing that got him in trouble, he's lining up about 9 yards off of the guy. Corner's not very patient in man coverage. He got in a hurry and hopped himself out of there. Again, we said one of the stats that we really wanted to talk about was 1 touchdown pass per game. I think this year we gave up 9 touchdown passes. Okay, the last 5 or 6 years, we have averaged less than 1 touchdown pass with it. And that becomes really important for us, again, because of how many people that we're going to go play versus the run with everything. Again, now we've gone back and we've played special with it. We played squats and halves up top. Handling the verticals to the read side. Again, strong safety can be a little bit slower with everything. I don't like his initial footwork either because what he does here now, he crosses his feet over. We would like for that to be a true shuffle with it. But you can see what the free safety's doing now. He's vertical in number 3. 3's not vertical, so he's going to set it back down where we can go defend the routes that we've got to be able to stop with all of it. Get you a couple of different deals here. Okay, now what's happening for us? The back is going to be strong with it. Same concept for us though. We're going to end up playing special here again, playing solid or a man concept for the linebacker and corner, but it's going to allow us to have another free player if pass shows with it. Again, special coverage, here it is versus 3 verticals, or 2 and 3 vertical with it. Strong safety has got to be able to cut off the route by number 2. Free safety is vertical of number 3. He'd make his life a lot easier instead of turning this into a chase game if I would get myself in position where I could cut off that route with it right now. But again, what a solid call back here is going to allow us to do is play man cover or man under versus the pass, plus get another guy versus the run with all of it. Okay, now we've come back and we've got blue solo. Again, you can see how slow the strong safety's being. Free safety still knows that's his vertical. Weak safety, pass showed right now. There is no play action. I'm vertical of 3. Here's the bail deal we were talking about from our quarter standpoint. Again, the thing that gets him in trouble, he's too fast. Slow down and let that wide receiver break my cushion and run into me as things happen. But again, the ability back here to play and win a one-on-one is going to allow us to do a whole bunch of different things up top. Okay, we're set G up front, so we've got our 3 technique to the back. And you can see how wide we're playing this deal versus a one-back set, especially with our 3. Nose, he's got his nose in the gap with all of it. Again, it's a nice job by our weak safety here because what's the quarterback doing? He's standing up right now and throwing the football. He knows pass showed, but if the quarterback's going to stand up and throw it right now, there's nothing that says I can't still show up back over here if they're throwing it to the single receiver with it. If it's going to happen that fast, and again, how have we set up practice during the week where we've given them that same look when they're going to throw the vertical route to the number 1 back there? How does it look on film? Okay, I'm studying film. Where's my alignment if I'm a weak safety? I know my number 3 vertical is the number 3 receiver out here, okay, but I'm still the force player here. What kind of run can I get back to me? I could get the zone play back to me. This is probably a 3rd and longer distance here. Quarterback standing up, he's looking here the whole time and throwing it. Okay, let's go help. Okay, here we go again with a wide stinger. Linebackers are VHing. They're slinging and going and playing it. It's not a very good job of our defensive end here because as soon as that back block, now he needs to add and hit that seam with it right now. Becomes a little bit of a game plan deal for you based on the splits of where number 2 and number 3 are at. How do you want to handle it if these 2 guys get close? You want to let the linebackers push it off or what you want to do? All right, now we're playing blue solo, but instead of playing it as a press call, we're going to bail the corner up top. I don't know why our weak safety decided he wanted to cheat so far over here so quick, because right now the quarterback knows what? Okay, it's a one-on-one back here with all of it. We talk to our guys all the time, and I don't care if it's special teams, if it's defense, if it's offense, winning the one-on-one. We're going to put you in situations where there's going to be some one-on-one matchups. I don't like where he's at with it. It's not a very good look back here. Left the corner on too big of an island. Okay, it became a special call for us again. What looks funny about this formation? Shoot, the number 3 receiver is all the way outside of the hash with all of it. Why did they put him out there? Probably so they can try to run something back inside. Not good here by the weak safety because he did what? He went before he knew with everything. Again, talking about tackling legs. I'll show you a great deal whenever we go over and start doing some individual stuff of how you can practice that. All right. Here's one for us where they're running the bubble. As soon as this guy comes and blocks, the corner needs to go pull his trigger with all of it. They got two guys blocking our strong safety, and the corner doesn't ever go show up. Not a very good play here. We're going to come back in a second. We're going to play it a lot better. Okay, I was talking to a couple of guys during the break. When it becomes a third and long deal, one thing that we started doing about 4 years ago is we started playing halves coverage, but we're going to change our alignment to a sticks alignment. So if it's third down and 10 right now, what we've got 5 underneath players that are going to be 1 yard in front of the sticks. Okay, what are the benefits of doing that? It's going to allow you to do everything you want to do up front from a pass rush standpoint, plus it's going to give you the advantages of playing man under coverage, but nobody's going to get beat at the line of scrimmage. Okay, we've got 5 guys that are standing here looking if you're going to run any kind of draw or any kind of underneath pass where we're all rallying to it, plus we've got 2 half defenders with it. We're standing here and we're seeing what's happening. We're really defending the sticks with all of it. Be the same thing if we got verticals out of it now. Once he ran through my zone, if he continued to go vertical, I would go with him. But again, it's going to allow us all to stand here and watch what that quarterback's doing while we've got 4 guys with our best pass rush stuff going with how it happens. It's really a nice job now by the free safety of staying inside and maintaining his leverage now with an inside route with all of it. Again, it's a solid call. Pass shows he's going to go double wherever that quarterback's looking with everything. Our big deal again is finishing back here. Our wide receiver's got him freaking beat. Should be over and done right now, but he didn't finish. Again, it's a nice job of the strong safety of hanging. He knows he's swing deep of 3. Here comes number 3 with it now. I'm wide and I'm keeping leverage on all of it. Now, as you get into this, we were playing a solo call back here, and what solo tell the weak safety? He is vertical of number 3. Number 3 is not going vertical here, so how do you want to game plan that thing on a week-to-week basis, what you want this guy to do if 3's not vertical? Do we want to leave him back here where he can go double the single receiver? Do we want to have him here where he can spy the quarterback? Do we want to have him go to the middle of the field? How do we want to handle those things? Again, different answers that you got to have. A lot better job by the corner up top of being slow and letting that receiver close his cushion. Again, June Jones and those guys at SMU are very good at what they do. They don't do a lot. And they say, well, we're going to go be able to beat you. And they played in their conference championship game this year with it. Playing special again. Corners in man coverage. Strong safety's got to keep leverage on an outside route by 2 or 3. They're bringing both of them here. So now the free safety's got to push down, and he's got to go play it. Again, who these guys are personnel-wise for us. Greg McCoy is a guy that can really run. He is our field corner. Colin Jones, the strong safety, number 28, he was a tailback in high school. Okay, TJ Johnson was a safety. This guy had been a bigger corner that we moved to safety with it, and a guy that can communicate. We've played with guys who were high school quarterbacks here. Just that kind of guy that can go and communicate and talk as things happen. Okay, talking again about football knowledge and about how things happen for us now. Again, when number 3 ran an outside route, they love to run what we call the sail route with it. We're getting an out here, we're getting a corner route, and a vertical here with all of it. It's a great job by the strong safety now of sinking himself underneath that deeper corner route by number 2 with it now to buy the free safety time to push to it. Again, what's happening now by our solo player, Number 3 ran out. Now it's going to allow him to push where he can go play and help to the post with all of it. Again, it's a nice job by movement back here of the weak safety. Okay, are we playing a halves? Are we playing solo? What are we doing with all of it? The corner, I don't have any idea what he's doing here. He should be sinking and getting underneath the corner route with it. Again, this is a combination that we call inverted money. We've got a money and we've got an inverted money. Inverted money is going to be a hitch by 1 or an inside route here, a corner route by 2, and number 3 to the flat. It can be either a doubles or a trips combination. But when that happens, number 3 went fast. This linebacker should go push fast to this one. Corner should give a China call and sink. Strong safety needs to hang here until 3 widens him. Again, it's going to be a great job now of our free safety of pushing and getting underneath this corner route where he's got a chance to go make a play on the football. Again, we're playing solo on the backside of it. And what I want you to see here, we're still playing press on this one. All right, now we're into doubles. For us, we're playing blue coverage. We got blue on both sides. Here's the back. So again, what do we talk about? Alignment-wise, strong safety for the back versus twins. I'm 1 by 5 outside if the back's offset to me. Free safety is going to split the difference between the offensive tackle and the number 2. He got caught showing out here a little bit, needs to get back in here. Weak safety-wise, I'm this. Splitting the difference between the offensive tackle and number 2, 12 yards off of that receiver with it. Corner is playing a bail technique for us. Linebacker is the slice technique. Pass shows he ran a hitch. We should get a China call. Linebacker go look it up. And now let's sink. And we've got a double team on the corner route by number 2. Free safety is a little bit fast here in his technique. He's given too much ground. Needs to sit himself down and shuffle where, again, I can come and play that 8-yard choice route. How we have set up our coverage is like this. The routes that we want to take away are those routes between really 7 and 12 yards because those are the ones that give an offense first downs. We want an offense to throw the ball fast where now we've got a bunch of guys rallying to the football, or we want them to have to protect long enough to throw the ball down the field. That's when we're going to get into all of our blitz stuff and everything. So that's kind of our concept and what we want to be able to take away defensively with it. Again, this linebacker's trying to mess around too much with the number 2 receiver. He needs to work by him. And should have been a China call, and he should have went to look up that guy. Okay, again, we're a little bit better here. Here's the China call. Corner's going to start to sink. Linebacker starts to look it up. Again, read side linebacker's doing what? 3 is taking him this way, so he's going to start to open. Wall 3 vertical. There it is. Good job by the free safety of what? This number 2 receiver pushed inside. I maintained my inside leverage with it. Gets his weight back on his heels a little bit too much here. Again, we talk all the time about trying to be physical with these wide receivers when we get a chance. Anytime we can put our hands on it, this ain't the freaking NFL. If that ball's not in the air, we need to be physical and we need to be banging on them. Good job here by the weak safety of, again, pass showed. What did he do? He got his hips open, and again, he's staying in a shuffle here with all of it. Okay, he's not crossing over. He's not in a hurry. Now, as soon as that receiver sits his hips down, what am I doing? I'm starting to drive and close where I can take that route away with it. Again, the boundary corner could do what to help himself? Slow down. See where his second step was? Second step became a crossover. Got him in trouble. If he'd have got 2 more shuffle steps there, the receiver's going to be on top of me and I've taken all the space out of the deal. Okay, here we are now running the wide stinger from the wide side of the field, but it's going to be double. So what our linebackers have now, he's VH and number 2 to his side. He's VH and number 2 to this side. Defensive end still has the back on a pass. What did the linebacker do? Let him inside. Again, he got in too big of a hurry with everything that was happening here. It's really a pretty good job by the linebacker here. Understand this, whenever we're playing this coverage, I know I've got help over the top and I've got help outside. A lot of people that come see us and really say, hey, what are y'all doing when you're blitzing and you're playing man under with it? It's really what it is versus any vertical routes. But now if we're getting route combinations where we're getting an out and a curl, we're running it into a hard corner with the out here. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds with it. Versus the passing game versus vertical routes and route combinations. One thing we talk about all the time, and it's not very good here by this strong safety, don't run down the middle of a fat guy. Okay, as a defensive player, there's no worse position than I can be in the middle of an offensive lineman. Play on edges. All right, we've got man free with it again now. Again, we didn't want to banjo a tight split up here because of how they did it. We wanted to let one guy, and it ended up being the corner for us that was going to go down and press the guy on the line of scrimmage, and now the weak safety was going to handle the guy off. Strong safety again for us. Again, he's patient here with all of it. We got a free player with it now. Again, hard focus and patience. For us, because that back blocked, both linebackers could add now. We could end up getting a six-man rush with it and still end up playing man free with it. All right, again for us, it's a much better job by the strong safety of being physical here with the number 2. We knock him down and the route's really destroyed. He's attacking hard inside. Free safety's keeping his leverage inside with it. Again, corner to the field. We're playing blue catch now, which is more of a catching the guy, almost a squat technique with it, but then if he goes vertical, we're going to play it. Versus a 10 personnel team, we think it gives us a chance where we can play quick routes better with all of it. Okay, again, we've got a set G with a gate call. Again, they're reading that center. When underneath pass coverage, want to force that quarterback to double pump things. Okay, here we go. We've got a wide stinger again. We're playing 5 jam with it. What looks funny about this deal up here? They're probably going to cross. Something's happening with all of it. Again, right now they cross, so the linebacker, that became his number 2 with it right now. Again, it's a better job here of not being in such a hurry and building my wall and pushing my wall to where all of my help's at. It's a good job by this linebacker staying inside, understanding where my help is, and pushing all of my help to pushing my wall to all of my help. Same thing for us now. You can see the defensive end. Once that back blocks, where he's starting to add himself and become part of the picture with all of it now. Okay, that's a little bit for us against 10 personnel and the pass stuff. All right, for us now, we've got bullets going. We're blitzing our linebackers. Okay, we're playing man coverage with it. It's really not a very good job here because the defensive end didn't get himself all the way down with it in a bomber call with it. A bomber call is going to be the scrape and chase, where now he has to go play the dive with it, and the linebacker's going to step around, and he's going to play the quarterback with it. But again, here's a great picture of the free safety come and tackling legs with that whole deal. And I'll show you that drill as we get into all of it. All right, ball's in the middle of the field. Where we want to read, if they're in a shotgun deal, we want to read to the offset back. If they were under center and it was a balanced formation in the middle of the field, we'd want to set our passing strength here as well as a tight call up front with it. Again, the thing I want you to see here, how slow these safeties are on any of the run game that's happening. We went ahead and we played a quarters concept in the middle of the field where we walked the linebacker out a little bit farther, and he is responsible for that B gap right now. We should have run this with a tag call up front to bring our 3 technique to this, where we could go ahead and play a scrape and chase and let the linebacker come around, step around, and play the quarterback with it. We're getting it here, but we've got a little bit of a problem if they handed the, because our A-gap player didn't step himself inside with it. But again, you can see a little bit how this track linebacker is starting to show back up in here, and he was really way removed with it. All right, again, we've got 5 Tampa sticks for us. It's 3rd down and 20 here with everything. Okay, here's an example of them running the draw against it. So now we've got 5, 6, 7 guys that we go up and we tackle it. Okay, now it's 4th down and 15 with it. Okay, this is a different way for us to run a wide stringer. If they gave us a trips call, one way that we could adjust that thing now is let the linebacker walk out and run it and leave the strong safety as the VH of the number 2. And now still working the backside linebacker here with it. It's going to be the exact same blitz that you saw earlier with the strong safety running it, but now the linebacker's the guy off the edge. Here's what we tell them now on any of the zone read stuff when I'm running a smoke off the edge with it. As soon as he fakes away from me, I become the quarterback player on all of the read zone stuff now. It's a heck of a play here, isn't it? Again, the weak safety is a lock call back here, which allows him to play the run first. Took a bad angle and went and got himself blocked with all of it is what he did. Again, corner came and he tackled the legs with it though. Okay, same concept for us now. Weak safety-wise, it becomes a run now. Does not matter if it's a solo or if it is a solid call with it. Run shows, now it's going to allow me to go show up with it right now. Okay, now the back's weak. Now we're playing true quarters across the board with everything. You can see how now really we've got a track linebacker with this deal. He's the B-gap linebacker over here, but it's all getting cut off with everything, and he now can match the path of that back with it. And here's a much better look of our 3 techniques starting here, slanting underneath, so now we could play scrape and chase games with all of it. Same thing for us here. Now this time, we didn't play scrape and chase. We were going to let the defensive end read all of the read zone stuff and let the linebacker honk it up in that B gap and go play it now. From a safety standpoint, again, you can see, don't go until you know. They're running that football right now. Here we all go show up with that net, and we start to constrict everything that's happening with it. Again, I set up this exact same drill for the safeties by having a quarterback and a running back and 2 wide receivers out here with all of it. It's going to be the exact same looks that they get in a game with it as we've practiced with everything. Okay, here we go, bringing the guy from the wide side of the field again. Again, where does the zone play? How can the zone play happen to me if the back's offset? Now he's stepping across. As he steps across, what do I need to do? I need to flatten and I need to go tackle the zone play. Again, but what it's allowed us to do now is this. Because we're slanting everything here, we're still going to gain our box back as a wraparound guy. Plus, whenever I'm a linebacker that's playing a VH, the biggest thing we tell them, widen yourself out and play a little bit deeper where now I can see and play the run and react back to all of it now. Let me, here's a blue solo. Okay, we're reading right with this whole deal. Again, the weak safety is going to get himself in trouble because he doesn't pull his trigger fast enough with everything. The linebacker is going to get reached and loses his gap. He's the B-gap linebacker. I got to get my butt in a gap, and I can't take the easy way with all of it. But again, what did we do? We went and we tackled legs. Okay, how do you handle all of the pistol stuff? What kind of plays are you getting out of it? Again, by formations, when we talk to our kids, this is what they're doing out of pistol with it. Okay, for us, we treat pistol really like the quarterback's under center with it, is the way we handle it as a base rule. Same deal, isn't it? That's the last one on there. All right, now 11 personnel. Okay, what are they doing? They're putting the tight end out here as a wide receiver with all of us. It does not matter to us. It still becomes a trips adjustment for us. Up front, we've got a field G call, and we're playing quarters with a solo call, building a wall off of 3. Again, strong safety slow. Here comes number 3. He should end up widening with number 3. I'm the read side linebacker. Where'd my number 3 go? He widened, so now I'm going to widen my wall looking for the curl with all of it. Again, I'm the weak safety back here. Where'd my 3 go? He went out. There is no need for us to take 2 verticals over here and cover this guy. I'm going to snap myself back, and now, okay, game plan-wise, let's go double the X receiver with it. Linebacker's still playing man coverage on the back here. But again, what did field G tell us? We're setting our 3 technique to the field. We're playing a G with all of it. Okay, same thing for us now. Strong safety's going to end up widening with number 3. Linebacker, his 3 went out. He needs to look here. Build your wall here. Don't snap your eyes back and go try to play it. Free safety, it's a really good job now of doing what? Once pass showed, I opened my hips, okay? And now the thing that I don't like, see what his second step was? He crossed over right there. That's the thing you got to break young guys out of. Because good offenses, as soon as they see me cross over, what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to attack my butt with all of it. Okay, and then I've got myself in a position where I can't go play the route that I've got to defend. Stay there in a shuffle with it. Stay myself square with all of it now. Again, linebacker could push here faster. Strong safety now needs to do what? I've set up when the quarterback is. When that hand comes off, this is where we want to see him starting to break about 2 steps faster in that throwing lane there. Don't wait till the ball's in the air. When that quarterback's hand comes off, let's break on that hand. And again, what does that quarterback look like? He's set up, I want to be able to set up with it now. That hand comes off, I want to break on that hand. Okay, now we're going to start in a balanced set. So we were playing quarters across the board here. He motioned over to create trips. Okay, we're now going to a solo or a man concept back here. Again, talking about football intelligence, when people are motioning across, most of the time do we get 3 verticals with it? No, we're going to get some kind of combination route with it. So what the strong safety has done, he started cheating himself up more to the line of scrimmage, anticipating some kind of that outside route by the number 3 receiver with it. Again, the weak safety's coming over. There is no 3 vertical. Okay, so now look and see where the quarterback's looking with it. Linebacker's playing the back man. Again, read side linebacker is a short wall. I can't let anything across my face because it's the man side. Okay, we got 3rd down and 15 here again. We're playing sticks again. We got 5 underneath guys. Okay, they're throwing it here. Okay, let's all go rally and let's tackle them now. Okay, so now it's 4th down and 6. They're punting. Everything happens in front of you with it. Again, it's going to give your pass rush a chance to get there. Okay, we've got outlaw up front, which put us in 2-3 techniques. And we're going to run double tag, bullets B. So both three techniques should step inside to the A gap. Both linebackers are going to end up running through their B gaps with it. And now we're playing man coverage with it. Backside weak safety has got the back. That back stays in a blocks. It's going to end up turning us into a free player with it. Need to do a better job of maintaining inside leverage and being patient here with everything. Could stay a little bit more square with the strong safety too. But the thing he did a great job of now, watch his drive coming out of the break. There's a burst and there's suddenness there. And what he did, he went and finished. Going to end up knocking the football out. And again, what kind of a drill can you set up in individual stuff where I can work this part of it right here? Where, okay, I'm starting in a back pedal, and there's a wide receiver that's running it out. I'm now driving on that out, but I'm going to work a secure and a strip in 3 or 4 steps. And coach those things in one-on-one. Every chance you get to coach it, let's go ahead and let's coach it. Okay, here we are with the Frog Dogs, but we're running it as a switchback again. So the linebackers end up running it. We got a free player, and we're here. The guy ended up catching this thing with his freaking legs. It was really a great play by TJ. He knocks the ball out, and this guy here, watch what happens. He knocked it down, and he ended up catching the ball in his legs with it. But again, it's a good job of us. Watch how slow we are in man coverage at the free safety position with it. See the shuffle step we were talking about? Now there comes the out. Now I'm driving on all of it. Again, how slow are we at strong safety? And again, I'm staying on his inside eye with it. Once he widens, now I want my open step to be here where I can widen that route and destroy and take it away. Hard focus and patience. And again, don't give away what we're going to be in pre-snap by just lining up there. Let's move down late with everything. This is not a very good look of Tampa sticks with it. Okay, what should happen here right now, 2 came outside. The strong safety needs to look up the curl route by number 2, and the corner should sit at the sticks and end up playing the number 1 receiver here. It was the first snap he'd played in this game, and he got a little scared. But again, number 2's running an outside route up top, so it should become a wheel call. Corner would end up coming off and playing that. Weak safety's got nothing to do. Linebacker should end up looking the curl here by 1 up. We're playing Tampa halves with it, so if we get a 3 vertical, the linebacker's going to carry 3 vertical with it. Again, slow down. Okay, we're running our linebackers through and we're playing man coverage with it now. As we started this whole scenario, because these 2 guys were in a tight split, we could have had a banjo up here between the corner and the weak safety. As he motions across, now we've got a tight split between 2 and 3 to the field, so these 2 guys are going to handle it as a banjo, and the weak safety now is going to end up playing the back with it. Corner allowed himself to get picked here. Offense won't ever, or the freaking officials won't ever call that. That's probably what they're talking about, rub routes next door. They're communists is what they are. All right. For us, they started in a balanced formation initially. So if we had blue called, we'd be playing blue to both sides. Now they created trips. What is our trips check with the deal? Okay, we want to go play a solo call. Okay, same thing for us now. Number 2 ran an outside route. We actually checked to halves up here with it. Number 2 ran an outside route, so it should become a wheel call. It's going to allow me to set myself down. We're playing Tampa sticks is what we're playing. All right, same thing for us now. We're running Frog Dogs, okay, but this time we've also added a corner with it. So we've got it's really a 6-man blitz, but could turn into a 7-man blitz based on what they do with the back with it. Okay, they're going to end up having to keep the back end to block the corner now, which is going to allow us to add another guy to the party with all of it. Okay, and what this call talks to us about, it says tight G or tight set G Army. Okay, so if there's a tight end lined up in a tight end position, we'd set our 3 technique to the tight end. They're lined up in a 10 personnel look now, so we're going to set our 3 technique to wherever that back is. And again, this remaining linebacker, he's got the back, he blocks, so now we get to go add. Okay, again, talking man coverage now. Want to be slow here. Got to go drive. Can't afford to miss tackles in a one-on-one situation. All right, again, they start in a balanced set. They bring the guy across. Let's get myself where I can defend what's happening with it. Here's another big rule for us. The tighter an offensive gets with all their splits, the wider we want to get, and we want to surround all of it. Again, we got a solo call, so I'm a short wall. Can't let anything cross my face. Keeping leverage on 3 outside. What should the corner done? The same thing he did beforehand when he almost picked the football on the first one we saw. Again, we're coming and we're tackling legs with it. Again, as you can see up here, we're going to name different pass routes with everything. A wave route for us now is going to be an inside route by 2 plus an inside route by number 3 with it. Again, it becomes a game plan deal for us. If my number 2, if I'm playing any kind of a robber technique with it, if my number 2 went inside, I'd end up going back inside with all of it. Okay? Now we're in a 3-man front for us. Okay? This is our S2 that we left back here. And if pass showed, we were going to drop him to the flat playing a sky call, where now we could go take away the out by the number 1 receiver with it. Same concept for us now, allowed us to cheat the weak safety to the center, and he was going to vertical number 3, still playing 3-on-2 here. Again, we got 3rd down and forever. We're playing Tampa sticks with all of it. They're throwing a 5-yard route. Okay, let's all go rally and let's go tackle. 4th down and 10. That's really a deal that we use on a third and long type situation with it, or anytime we're really playing the pass. Here we go back to special coverage again. Talking about the strong safety having to keep leverage on any outside route by 2 or 3. Number 2 widens, he's going to widen with it. Weak safety now is vertical at number 3. Linebacker's a wall player. If we were playing a halves concept on the backside, what did number 2 do? Number 2 ran an out. If we were, we'd have a corner that was then sitting there playing it. Weak safety would go look up number 1. Again, big deal for us is being slow with everything. All right, now let's talk about this formation for just a second. Let me tell you one more deal that we do teaching-wise and during practice, I think that really helps allow us to get good at playing what we want to do with it. For us, to the read side now, what we're going to do is we've got the strong safety, the read side corner, the free safety, and we're going to work the read side linebacker as a part of this too. And we call it half zone. We'll do it versus our offense early in camp and everything. And then as we get into the season, we're going to do it versus defense. And what we're going to do We're going to do it versus the opponent offense, versus our defense. And how we're going to handle it is like this. We're going to work all of the route combinations that they run to the read side. So, for example, we're going to play an out and a curl. Okay? We're going to run a hitch and corner. We may run a vertical and dig. We may run a choice and a post. Whatever 6 or 8 things that they do most, that's the 8 routes or 6 routes that we're going to put in there. As soon as the read side runs a route combination, then the away side, which is going to consist of the away side corner, the away side linebacker, and the weak safety. So we're going to have 3 on 2 to this side, and we're going to have 4 on 3 here. As soon as the read side finishes, then the away side is going to run a rep. Again, it's going to be the same thing. I think it's a great deal to run against your offense initially because you've got to be able to teach and to coach your kids that maybe this particular coverage is not near as good versus this particular combination, but what if we've got that called and we've got to go win the football game on that play? Is it, oh well, the offense just had a better call than we did? No. How are we going to fit up what we're doing defensively to go and get a stop on that particular play and to stop what the offense is doing? Same thing if you're speaking from an offensive standpoint. Maybe you don't like running a certain combination into squats and halves coverage. But if you've got it called and they're in squats and halves, do you say, well, okay, that was 3rd down. We're just going to go ahead and punt now? No, what can we do to put ourselves in a situation that we can go and be successful and have success no matter what coverage we've got called with all of it? All right. Where's the strong safeties number 3 coming from now? He's coming from across the field. Number 2, who is actually a tight end, pushed inside. We're maintaining that leverage. And again, see how slow the free safety is and see how he's going to push back out to this tight end with all of it. For the weak safety, his number 2 drug across the field. So what we'll do with him becomes a game plan situation again. This particular week, whenever we were getting a lot of choice and post, and whenever this guy dragged across the field, we wanted the weak safety to go look up the post coming from the field. Quarterback ain't never going to see him going there. Okay, it's a great job by the strong safety of maintaining and keeping leverage on where his number 3 is coming from, and it's a lot better job of what? Breaking on the hand. That hand comes off right now, and I'm already breaking with it. That's how we want underneath pass coverage to look with it. Again, what kind of communication is going on here? You can see the linebacker really talking. From the weak safety standpoint, the thing he's got to understand is this. I am vertical of number 2. As long as I can continue to see number 2's numbers, I've got to treat him like he's vertical, and I'd have to stay inside with it. Once his numbers turn and he's going here, now what did we do with him on a game plan situation? We may let him look across to the dig, we can take him to the post, or we can tell him look back to the remaining receiver out here. Again, what do we want to accomplish on a week-to-week deal with it? Again, they're in a tight split here. Let's don't go down and play all the way inside of it. Okay, again, number 2's dragging across the field. We let the free safety now come and look to the dig into the boundary with it. Strong safety does not need to be in a huge hurry here. He needs to keep his eyes back here, and he needs to break. Again, what they're trying to do is they're trying to create 3 guys into the boundary. What's happened, the away side linebacker's got to snap his eyes back, and he'd be the guy that ended up playing number 3 in the flat out here with. Again, what do you want to call that combination? What can your kids recognize with all of it? Okay, we got 5 Tampa sticks again. Again, number 2's running an outside route. Should become a wheel call for us. We overreacted back here at the weak safety position with all of it. Needs to have his pads under control a little bit better with it. But again now, what's happening? And it's not great coverage by any means back here, but they don't have time because the quarterback couldn't see anything initially with it. Now he's forced to scramble. Now we've got a whole bunch of guys that are reacting and coming downhill with the football always in front of them. Utah was a big team that they were going to do specific things by whoever was on the line of scrimmage at the number 2 position. Is he on the ball? Is he off the ball with all of it? Okay, again, pass shows, I've opened my hips, he's attacking my inside, I've got to go in, stay inside where I can play it. This is why we don't play our corner in an outside leverage position. He's got to be able to stay inside where he can play the post with it. It's a great job with our movement here with everything. Again, we're playing quarter, and we're playing halves up top. But again, watch what's happening now with the free safety. He's staying slow, he's shuffling, he's staying inside all of it. Again, watch the communication we're getting out here with all of it. We're in a dime 3-man front again because it allows us to play double read sides now. Okay, we can play blue here, we can play cover 2 or robber up top, and now the strong safety is going to get to the flat. It became a what? It became a China call. You can see the corner talking about it. Okay? Strong safety, the S2 in this particular case, is going to go look up the China, and now we're going to sink and go play the corner route with all of it. Again, and that is the exact same look our guys have seen 8,000 times in half zone and everything. All right, we're playing squats and halves with all of it now. But it's going to be the same thing for us. What did the number 2 do? He ran out. Our free safety is not going to stay in a back pedal now. He's going to turn it back into a shuffle and get ready to play post to curl instead of curl to post like he would in robber or in quarters coverage with it. It's a lot better job back here by the weak safety now of his eyes and being able to play what's happening with any of the double move stuff. Stayed inside and was physical with all of it. Again, what's happening now? Number 2 is dragging across the field. Let the free safety now take his eyes across the field, look to the dig. A wayside linebacker's got to do what? He's got to get his eyes back inside, looking for number 3 coming back across with all of it. Here he comes, snaps his eyes here, he goes and plays it. It's a lot better patience now by the strong safety than you saw a few snaps ago against when we were playing BYU, I think it was. Okay, right now it became a quick route up top. Still should be a wheel call. Linebacker needs to snap his eyes faster and look to that slant. Same thing now. I don't care if we're playing quarters, if we're playing halves with it. As soon as that number 2 goes that fast, I need to sit myself down and I need to get ready to go play. Here's a great picture now of what we call the money route with it. Again, same thing we talked about trips a second ago. But what's happening? Where's the back going? The back's going fast right now. I don't care if we were playing Tampa or anything else. If that back went fast, we're going to push the read side linebacker to the number 2 right now on the spot route. We want the strong safety hanging in quarters coverage until that number 3 widens him. But again, if that back's fast, we're fast. He's pushing here, I'm hanging here, and then as that number 3 widens, I'll widen with it. But most of the time what you get with this concept here are backside slants or a bubble and slant or something here. And what's the quarterback action? He's standing up, hopping and throwing that thing right now. It's going to be quick. Again, what happens when we get motion back across? Probably some kind of route combination, probably not verticals. We need to anticipate a wheel call and anticipate sitting myself back down with it. We're playing cover 5 here. The strong safety and the linebacker are sink players. Want to be able, again, to read and anticipate where that quarterback's looking. If pass shows, the first thing the strong safety wants to do is take his eyes across the formation and look for a crossing route. Here comes that crossing route. Let's start fitting everything up with it. And the reason we can do that is this. As this guy comes across the field, that safety is going to be ready to sit down, or we're having a Tampa player that's going to work to it. You'll hear us talk about a lot about playing on defense, and one of the terms you'll hear us say all the time is multiplicity but simplicity. What that tells us is this. We want to be really simple and teach a bunch of concepts, but we want those concepts to carry over into everything that we can do, where we can get into a ton of multiple looks with it. Okay, again, they started in trips, but then they went back to a balance formation. What did number 2 do? Number 2 is going to end up running an outside route, so it becomes a wheel call. Corner's going to come off and play it. Safety sitting himself down. Up top with it now. Strong safety is going to keep leverage on number 3. The back went fast, so what did the linebacker do? He went fast and pushed to 2. Free safety staying inside because he's still vertical and I can still read his numbers. But again, what did he do? He shuffled and maintained his inside leverage position. The biggest and best thing the linebacker did right now, once his 3 went out, he took his eyes out here and looked up where he could go play that route combination instead of trying to watch the quarterback and then let the guy run by me with everything that happened. Same thing for us. Back went fast, we went fast. Corner needs to slow down and sit himself down. Again, it's a great job by the free safety of pushing to that outside route by number 2 with it. Down into the boundary, what do we got? Going to end up having a wheel call. This is a deeper out, so really the linebacker should be undercutting this deal, trying to go take it away. And again, you can see the slower this thing happens, the slower the corner's going to be coming off. We're still getting a wheel call by the weak safety. He's going over the top to look up number 1. And if they threw the out to number 2, then the corner would break on the throw with all of it. Okay, we got blue coverage or quarters across the board with it now. Again, it's a great job by the weak safety because watch how many shuffle steps he gets here. There's 1, 2, 3, and now he's here. This receiver doesn't know where to go with all of it. Again, it becomes a China call. He's throwing it right now, so as the corner starts to sink, he sees the ball coming out. He's breaking back. On the read side, I'm a physical player. Again, we're getting a China call with it. That's the biggest thing the half zone deal does for us. It's going to allow us to teach communication with it, plus fit up all of the routes and get a ton of reps with it initially. Okay, we're playing quarter halves with it now. Again, we got a shallow crossing route by number 2, letting the free safety go look up the dig coming in from the boundary. Linebacker's got to get his eyes back and end up playing number 3. All right, this is flip coverage that we talked about. We've brought the corners over because there's one wide side. The free safety is now vertical to number 3, and the weak safety has got the tight end man. We're playing a solo call back here. What we could get into if we wanted to is letting these 2 guys banjo those 2 guys now, where we wouldn't get into a situation where they could come down and pick and rub the linebacker off with it in man coverage. So the next time we'll come back when you see us play it, we'll play it as a banjo, or now we'll come down and play a cloud call over here where we can play 3-on-2 with a hard corner and then handle the trips with either a special or a roll call to the trip side where the read side's covering it. Okay, we got flip again. Still again, we could end up banjoing this thing. Again, that's our inside corner that's flipped over. We play that thing like a wayside of blue coverage is how we play it wearing flip because the strong safety's inside. Okay, now we're blitzing it. We're running wide dogs. So we've got the linebacker and safety from the wide side of the field are coming. Playing man coverage. Corners are flipped because it's one wide side. Again, free safety's got number 3, corner. Would help himself if he just slowed down a little bit. This kid was a T.J. Johnson. He was a finalist for the Thorpe Award. T.J., the 3 years that he was a starter, we led the nation in total defense all 3 years. T.J. has never run faster than a 4.7. He's a very intelligent guy, and at times he's too smart because he won't play slow enough sometimes in man coverage to give himself a chance to go play. Again, here's an example now of trying to bring that linebacker through everything and him seeing slide protection, and instead of just running into all of it, finding a gap in everything where now I'm running through the door instead of running through the wall. Okay, now we're zone blitzing it, bringing a wide stinger from the wide side of the field, and we are playing 3 strong with it now where we're rolling to cover 3. Dropping the free safety down, rolling the weak safety over the top with it. Again, but it's going to be the same concepts for us. It's still the same thing as running a smoke off the edge. Okay, flip coverage for us again with the solo call on the backside. Now what they do, it makes a lot more sense for us because now we banjoed it. Okay, then the linebacker, because we got an outside release of the back, the linebacker is going to end up playing the tight end. Weak safety is going to play the back. Now here comes the free safety playing vertical of his number 3. But again, how many different looks and how many different concepts can you get into out of the same look defensively with it? Again, banjoed it back here this time. It was later in the game against UNLV. Now that thing looks a little bit different with all of it. They're throwing a vertical route. We got ourselves in a position where I cut off the route, and it's over and it's done now. Okay, becomes flip coverage for us again. Again, talking about what kind of things we get out of an offense. When you're defending a tight end, what kind of routes do I have to play? Okay, I know it's a tight end. They're more physical. They're running choice routes. They're running option routes, all that kind of stuff. And what do they like to do? They like to push off. So in order to defend that, I've got to be able to get my pads down, and I've got to get ready to go be a part of a fist fight with all of it. I can't stand my ass up high and let him push me down with everything. I got to get my pads down, and I've got to go be physical, and I've got to hit him in the mouth as things happen. But again, he got to standing up high here, let the guy push off of him, and they go and they get a first down with it. The other thing about playing a 4-2-5 is this. We don't spend a lot of time talking about how we want to go get lined up versus formations. Okay, we're balanced with everything that happens. Again, we talked about a pro, and we talked about twins, and we talked about how we're going to play trips. We don't spend a lot of time throughout the course of a week of, well, this is how we want to go get lined up with this formation, or this is how we want to handle that motion. Because of playing a 5-spoke secondary, we're looking at you a lot of the times when that motion's happening. Okay, we got a wide stinger going, and we're playing the 5 jam, the halves concept over here with everything. It's a lot better job of our weak safety of doing what now? He's sitting himself here. He's not backing up versus the tight end, and he's trying to be more physical with it. And again, what do I need to anticipate from that guy? Don't get myself in a big hurry with it. Okay, for us, not really a big deal. They lined their tight end up out here. We were going to play blue solo with it. Okay, now they shift those guys out to trips. We've still got whatever call we want to have with it. Right now, we've got a wide stinger, and we are playing halves coverage up top and really kind of a man concept down here. I don't know exactly what Oregon State was trying to accomplish. It's talking about mentality stuff and everything with our kids. We want to instill the mentality that we'll go play anybody, anywhere, anytime. We don't care if it's on the freaking parking lot outside. I think we're like 18-4 versus BCS teams, and that's going and playing OU in Norman and beating them there. We were the second team that ever beat Bob Stoops, a Bob Stoops team in Norman. It's going and playing Texas in Austin. It's going and playing Clemson in Death Valley. We beat Clemson there last year, and I think it was only the 26th loss they've ever had in the history of Death Valley. And again, it's a mentality of how we try to approach our kids in trying to make practice tougher than a game situation. Whenever we step out there on the football field, we want them to feel over-prepared for things. Because if I'm over-prepared, now the game really slows down for me. All right, we're playing Tampa sticks again. It's 3rd and 12 here. Trying to throw it underneath. Okay, good. Let's break on it. Let's go tackle. Okay, we got a solo call with it now. Number 2 is running an inside route, so what did we talk about in doubles when number 2 ran an inside route? We let the free safety take his eyes back inside or across with everything. Now, because he's got trips, he's still taking his eyes back inside, but now he's looking to the number 3 with it. Again, this is one of the instances where if we were playing a huge scrambling quarterback, instead of letting this guy go help somewhere, we may set the weak safety right here, and if the quarterback starts scrambling, getting another guy that can go show up with all of it. Okay, what are they doing now? Guess what? They put a tight end at number 2. Why do you reckon they did that? So they could get a guy out here blocking on the edge with everything. The strong safety does a great job here of pulling his trigger fast and making something happen with it. Now everything's defined. You saw it earlier against Baylor whenever the corner was slower reacting. He reacts a lot faster this time. Okay, and now it's going to give all of us a chance to go show up with it. But again, we want to play downhill with it. Okay, special coverage for us again. What did we talk about the strong safety having to do in special? Keep outside leverage on any outside route by 2 or 3. They're running the bubble right now. Here comes the strong safety breaking on it. Linebacker 3's going outside. He's pushing here right now. We got a chance to pick the football. Hit us in the hands and we should have picked it. But again, same thing for the free safety now. He knows he's vertical in number 3. 3 went out. I'm sitting myself down and now I become the vertical in number 2 with it. Again, so what do you have to practice at the safety position now when I'm playing special here? I've got to give them a good look of having a back offset to me and running the football, any kind of speed option because he knows he's still the pitch player with it, being able to play action and vertical routes of all of it, and now all the combinations, be it outs and a sail route concept, slants, anything like that. And again, how do we set it up? I'm going to set it up with a running back, and I'm going to set it up with 2 wideouts here because that's the only thing he has to see in his whole progression. Third and long again, playing sticks with it. And I know y'all think this is about the stupidest looking deal in the world with everything, but we're really defending the sticks. We're not in a hurry with things. And again, the quarterback's going to end up scrambling here with it. And we got a whole bunch of eyes that are seeing it. Half players really need to be slow in sticks. They're not ever deeper than 19 yards. Again, it really allows us to fit things up as they happen down the field. Strong safety's doing what? Keeping leverage on the flat route by 3. Linebacker's doing what? 3 went out. He's widening his wall with all of it now. Here comes the curl by the number 1. He's pushing to it. Free safety. Staying inside. Vertical of 2. They called us with a blow to the head here, I think. Same thing for us now. Here's a good picture of swing deep at 3. The strong safety is widening, and he's keeping leverage, okay, on that number 3. But the thing we don't want to do is we don't want to go up and jump that guy. Because as soon as I come up and jump him, I'm going to open this window behind me. I want to keep leverage and widen with him. If he turns up the field, I want to have myself in a position where I can go then play it. Number 2 is running an outside route. We're playing halves coverage, so it becomes a wheel call. Right now, the corner's going to come off and play the flat. Linebacker's coming to look up 1. Weak safety is not staying in a half anymore. He's setting himself down. I think another thing that is really a neat part of our package and having the ability to zone blitz, man blitz, and play zone coverage with some stopper calls in it is this. You've got to find out the mentality of your football team. Okay, what do you do best defensively? How you start finding that stuff out is going to happen during spring ball. Okay, we may be a great man blitz team, but as we go out through the course of a season, we want to continue to practice zone blitzing, and we want to continue to practice getting better at just zone coverage where we're going to have more answers. Because offenses are really good these days, and if they know you're in third down, you're going to be a man blitz team, at some point they're going to catch up with you. Okay, so what we want to continue to do throughout the course of a year, it may be week 7, week 8, now we want to be able to have more answers as we zone blitz, as we play zone coverage and those things. Continue to build on your weaknesses as you continue to make your strength stronger. Try to eliminate as many weaknesses as you have. Okay, here's the dime look again where we're bringing 2 guys off the edge with it. Okay, this linebacker's VHing. VH tells him what? I'm vertical of number 2, but I can't let anything back inside of me. So as number 1 starts to push inside, he's coming off and playing it. Now the corner's going to sink. Can play it as a concept back here, as a man concept with the corner, and the defensive end has got the back. Again, as this whole slide was going to us, the inside S2, he could have continued to wrap himself around and found that gap right there with all of it, which would have been better for us. We'll go about 10 more minutes here, and then we'll go take a little break. All right, we got the same thing now. We've got double speak going again, which is going to be our 2 safeties off the edge with it. Playing VHs now with the linebackers with everything. Got himself in trouble trying to look back at the quarterback with everything. Okay, we got a sticks call again with it. Linebacker fell down this time. We're in a lot better coverage position, though, if we don't slip. But again, what gets him in trouble? That crossover step right there. Understand where my help is at and have some patience with things. Again, number 2 is going to end up running an outside route on the backside of the deal. Becomes a wheel call from the weak safety to the corner, and you can see how we're starting to set things down here. Double out combination. Again, once this back happened, watch what happened here. The strong safety started in an outside leverage position because of what? The back was offset to him. He knew he was going to be the pitch player versus the option. That back shifted away. Now I cheated myself to the inside eye. Still a me call for me, so I'm starting to widen with this, but now as that quarterback throws it, I've got to be able to break back on the football. Again, what did the free safety come do? Came and tackled the legs. Okay, we're man blitzing again, bringing 4 from a side with it. This safety can help himself a little bit more instead of backpedaling again, playing it more of a shuffle. Weak safety's coming over and he's covering the tight end here with all of it. Backside linebacker has got the back in man coverage. If he stayed in and blocked, then we'd go ahead and add with it. Not good here by this sink player with all of it. The linebacker came down and jumped a short route. We're playing sticks. It's 3rd and 10 here. Understand what they're trying to do. Vertical with the dig behind it. If there's one in front of me, there's one behind me. Okay, again, they motioned across to create trips. Strong safety sees 3 coming to him. Linebacker does a great job with 3 outside of pushing his wall with it. And again, what did we talk about earlier about an inside push by a wide receiver? Why are they doing it? Trying to push back outside with it. Free safety does a good job of driving here, and it's really a nice job of the strong safety of playing leverage, playing this thing deep to short. Would like to see him keep a little bit better leverage on this number 3 and break a little bit faster with it. Again, same thing for us. Great job by the free safety staying inside. See how many shuffle steps he gets here? How patient he is? What that does, that allows that receiver to close my cushion. He's going to get more on top of me now where I can drive on that sail route and I can go play it. We'd get a lot better help now if the strong safety wouldn't jump this like he's doing here. Like you saw him do before with everything. It's a sprint out. So again, talking football-wise, what kind of routes do we get with sprint out? Most all the time they're outside routes. So if I can see what the offense is doing, I'm going to have a great idea of knowing and understanding what I'm going to have to play or what routes I've got a great chance of having to defend with all of it. Okay, they're throwing the wide delay screen here with all of it off of the sprint out deal. Again, this linebacker is in man coverage on the back here. Everybody went strong. He's waiting for one to come back to him. Weak safety ends up seeing the thing too. Kendricks, 84, was really a good football player. He was an All-American guy. And those guys were huge. Okay, now, again, motion's coming across with everything. What do? We went to a solo call. Again, look how wide this split is out here with everything. Something's up with that whole deal. But again, if we'll do a great job of breaking on that hand with things, they complete this route for really no gain. It's 2nd and 10 now. It's a great job by the strong safety coming down here and showing. Looks like we're running a zone blitz and playing halves with all of it now. But what's he going to do? He's going to get himself back out of here. And now we're just playing halves coverage with it. Not very good by the linebacker. He doesn't need to go chase this guy. As that happens, he needs to go ahead and open and look himself here with all of it. Again, when we're playing halves, it's going to allow us to be a lot more physical here, but we've got to do a great job at the corner position of really moving my feet. Okay, they get tight, we get wide with everything. Here's really a good job now of getting the linebacker opening up off of number 3. The thing that could help us a little bit now with that big back being away, we could play the strong safety as more of an inside leverage position because he knows he's got no number 3 coming to him, and there's going to be a little bit of a hole here with it. Okay, it becomes a China call up top. Strong safety should go look it up. It's a great job by the corner of sinking and getting underneath that corner route. It's really a nice job by the strong safety here of being physical with number 2, taking his eyes across and seeing 3 come to him. Okay, when this happened against Utah, what we ended up doing, instead of letting the weak safety look across, we wanted to look back here and double the dig route. Because what we call it the shelf route, where here's the bottom step of the shelf, here's the top step of the shelf. Okay, again, what the free safety is doing now, pass shows, I got my hips opened up, I'm getting my shuffle step, I see that wide receiver's hips start to settle down. He's running a choice route. Now I'm going to start driving myself back down to all of it. I can't believe they just let the quarterback start throwing the ball out of bounds too. I wish they'd make some rules that help defense occasionally. Okay, here's a great job. Here's an example of a wheel call now. Okay, we're playing halves coverage with it. Wheel call, corner comes off with it, weak safety's going to end up sitting himself down. Playing quarters up top, trying to be physical and bang on number 2. Free safety, pass showed, I'm staying inside and I'm shuffling with it now. Again, what's our job in underneath pass coverage? Make the quarterback double pump with everything. He took his hand off, now he pulls it back down, gives the pass rush time to get there with everything. Okay, we're in our 3-man front stuff again, playing dime, and we've got quarters, and we've got robber down here to this side. Again, it's a great job of a China call. S2 going to look this guy up where now the corner can sink. And playing quarters up top, trying to be physical, disrupt the route by number 2, and go play. Okay, again, here comes the shelf route up top. Here's the low, there's the top part of it. Again, what's happening though? Watch how the weak safety ends up sitting down and driving where I can go take that thing away. Strong safety alignment-wise, with both of these guys out here wide, don't just go line up to wherever they're at. If they're both going to get wide, again, let's play what's happened. I could show outside, but get myself back inside of all of it now. It's not a very good job by the corner route here because man-to-man clue happened, and if we didn't talk about it being a banjo beforehand, he should stay on the post, and the free safety should stay on the corner route, the scissors route combination with it. But again, those things, let's take away the 7 to 12-yard throw. Force them to have to protect long enough to throw the ball down the field, or force them to throw it short where we can all rally to it. This linebacker needs to push faster with it. It's the inverted money route that we talked about beforehand with everything. Again, corner gave a China call. He starts to sink here, where we can go take it away. We see it thrown, then we'll rally back to everything. But again, it's better by this weak safety because he stayed slower here with everything. And now once this guy makes a commitment to what he's going to do, now I can drive and go take it away. Okay, pro twins for us. Again, why are they trying to create a tight split down here? Trying to take the guy across the field with everything. Again, watch the drive. It's a great job of being slow. It's a great job of anticipating what I'm going to get with it. Okay, we're coming from the wide side of the field up here with it, out of the dime look again, and we're playing our VHs with it now. Linebacker can't let this guy come across. He's hard walling it. Here comes the inside linebacker up top with it. Again, those two guys are tight. I don't have to run myself to it. We know we've got a half player over the top. If they're going to run and funnel themselves together, hooray for our side. Now, however, they end up coming out of there. Linebacker play the inside part. Corner's going to play the outside part, and we've got a half player over the top. The reason we've got to be able to do a good job of sitting down as a half player is this. This linebacker's not going to let anything come inside of him. As that action comes, he's coming off and he's building his wall right now. If I continue to stay in a half, we're not going to have anybody on the top of the shelf. So what we've got to be able to do is now there's no two vertical threats. I've got to sit myself back down and get ready to drive and go play it. Again, how do you finish? Do you stress that during practice? And if you do, how do you go stress it? Okay, sticks again for us. 3rd down and 10 with everything. Again, what are we doing? We're a sink player. I know there's a crossing route. If it's 3rd and 10, I don't want to go jump this deal until the quarterback takes his hand off of it, though. But as soon as he takes his hand off, you can see we've already started breaking and taking steps this way with it. Okay, now we go tackle him. Okay, it's 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Again, what did our half player do up top? He's sitting down. I need to sit down. It's a good job by the linebacker now of being physical. I'm this close where I can touch the guy. Let's be physical and let's bang on him with everything that happens. Okay, here's the 3-man front deal we ran earlier, bringing 2 safeties off the edge with all of it. Again, S2, there's that wall. Don't run into that wall. Let's wrap myself around with everything. Really a good job by the linebacker up top of being patient. Linebacker here is in too big of a hurry because he pushed at the tight end with it right now. Stay yourself another step inside, and again, what do tight ends do? They come and they try to bang and they try to be physical. Get ready for a fist fight with all of it. All right. Wyoming deal for us. They started creating quads with it and then motioning back out the backside. Okay, again, what falls, and they'd never done any of this stuff. They completely closed their practices down the week before us, and we had no idea what we were going to get. There was talk that they may try to get in double slot and run the option with everything. Okay, but again, what kind of concepts have we taught? What will carry over with everything that's happening that's going to allow us now, okay, what adjustments do we have to make throughout the course of the game? How do we have to do it? We played it in flip coverage and played it as a solo call on the away side where the weak safety ended up handling that back when he motioned out. Corners were flipped over with it. Are they different if they have the guy in a slot? Do they put him there to max protect and then release late? Why are they trying to do some of those things? Okay, we're playing sticks again with everything. It's 3rd and 8 now, so all of us underneath wise should be lined up at 7 yards. I'm patient. I'm seeing things that are happening. Again, it gives our pass rush a chance to get there.